Okay, we're going to get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Vicente Cruz. I'm the Oakland Greens Event and Fundraising Coordinator, and welcome all of you. Sorry, Greg. Welcome all of you to our July movie night. This is probably our biggest group of people and a bunch of faces that I don't recognize, first timers, but even them know, and all that stuff too. So I'm glad that you come. We do these free events. How this all started was back when I was sucking tear gas and getting beaten by cops and arrested, it seemed like every week. We realized as activists that we were burning out and we were not taking any time to recharge or decompress. So events started happening. There was the Anarchist and Communist soccer tournament where we did Anarchist 1, go Kronstadt FC. And we just realized that even just having Domino's nights and we still sat around and bitched about how corrupt the system was and how can we change it. Most of it, I do agree that we got into trying to use electoral politics to our advantage. We came into it late about the idea that unless we're the tribal council, we can't actually change the rules. And we were all on this tip of just totally destroying the system, dismantling it completely and starting anew, that there was no way to reform a corrupt tree. If the roots of the tree are bad, the fruit's always going to be bad, period, right? You don't need, that's basic agriculture that just happens. So we start these two, and it's almost, even though it's kind of like what I call is like a book club for movies, but it's almost like a timeshare too, because you have to sit here and listen to me bitch about how where the fucking general strikes and why are we call it like we're at Pride weekend, and I don't know if anyone had been out, but it's been all over social media. How the police were brutalizing the trans folks at the march and also at the Dyke March. I assume, this is my cynical side, that nothing happened for the men today at Pride March because they feel that they have money. But I kind of got out of it once Budweiser started. I mentioned this when Budweiser and all these corporations that traditionally were very homophobic started sponsoring it. I knew it was bullshit, right? Not just me. I mean, actually, it came from a bunch of radical women that were way wiser and smarter than I will ever be. But that kind of pushed us away from Pride March in general. And then also, there is the whole thing too. You aren't going to assign me one fucking day or one fucking weekend when I'm going to celebrate my family, rights and for humans, whether it be LGBTQ+, disabled folks, whatever it is. You're not going to tell me, oh, well, this is when you get to do it. Then what am I supposed to do with that Tom Lear song, National Brotherhood Week, right? I have to. Good thing it's only for a week because then I can go back to being an asshole, right, for the rest of the year. I was like, get that sick time. So I'm never really significant on that one too. Okay. Oh, so for our movie, has anyone seen Don't Look Up already? Oh, just a couple.
What was it?
Don't Look Up?
No, what was the question?
Oh, have you seen it? I've not seen this. I've been really good about that too in the, gosh, I guess 8-9 years we've been doing this a little bit behind Critical Hit of picking movies that no one has ever seen. It's sort of like my musical taste too. People go, oh my God, that's amazing, but I have no idea who the hell that is. Which I like that. I kind of consider it like I'm a little ego boost. But this is a very shadow comedy. It is funny, but it's funny in like an idiocracy way. I've seen it a few times. I always find something new in it, but it's never sort of like the same thing. Like I'm surprised that we haven't already, like everybody's not canceling their Amazon Prime and all this shit too because of how crazy it is. How much it is mirrors real life. That I think this is exactly how we would treat it. It'd be like #apocalypse, right? We'd be, how do I get my last bit of likes rather than, oh, I should be spending this time with my family or anything like that too. And then the other thing I wanted to mention too, and you hear me say shadow, and I wanted to do that specifically, something again that the Oakland Greens have always been on is about linguistics, how we speak, what we say, meaning what we say. And when they say dark comedy, black day, like that's a trap, right? That's just to get us used to, again, like, yeah, fuck them niggas and make them slaves and we don't care, right? So we've been really trying to change and mean what we say. So I say shadow rather than dark, because in my experience too, darkness is not something to be afraid of. right? Darkness really hasn't. There's a whole bunch of light stuff that has really kind of bothered me, but darkness really never has black hats and all those things too. So I wanted to mention that before I go. But without any further ado, we're going to start our movie. And thank you very much again for coming.